And guys, this video is brought to you by 𝗕𝗪𝗀𝗀. Now live on the Binance Smart Chain, you can swap, stake and earn on 𝗕𝗪𝗀𝗀 for extremely lucrative rewards. Now 𝗕𝗪𝗀𝗀 is VenomDAO's latest initiative after establishing ViperSwap, Harmony's leading decentralized exchange. Head over to 𝗕𝗪𝗀.exchange and start earning rewards today. Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. In today's video, we're taking a look at 𝗖𝗨 and specifically the price action of this token, guys. As we get into it, if you find it useful and informative, then do go ahead and hit the like button. I really appreciate that. If you are new, make sure you subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will not miss another update. Right, let's get into some technical analysis here for 𝗖𝗨. So we're going to start things off with this weekly chart. And we are paired up with USDT and KuCoin is our data source. Right, well, we are talking about another 1,300% in gains from our current position to the price expectation according to the Fibonacci 4.236. This being said, though, 𝗖𝗨 is a micro cap coin, and as a result of that, it will take very little money to actually move the needle. So during the kind of parabolic run that we are expecting to happen in the next little while, we could start seeing 𝗖𝗨 absolutely fly well above the Fibonacci extension levels. Okay, so theoretically, there's nothing stopping 𝗖𝗨 reaching $1, but technically speaking, on the charts here, we do not see this, right? Instead, we can see that we can go up to 7.4 cent, and going up to 7.4 cent would be 1,300%, okay, 1,319%. So obviously some fantastic kind of extension levels here being indicated technically, and again, it will take a fraction of the money to move that needle up to those kind of degrees. So it really depends on the kind of level of marketing that 𝗖𝗨 has behind it, as to whether or not this cycle we're going to see significant push, or whether we're going to have to wait until the next cycle for some significant positions to also be realized. Now, for those who do not know, 𝗖𝗨 is a fantastic application for your phone that basically has encrypted messaging, so you can message your contacts, etc. But you can also send cryptocurrencies across to your contacts in a very secure way. It's very, very easy to use, and actually it's very, very good because obviously it just means that you can use the 𝗖𝗨 wallet to hold your cryptocurrency, and of course you can use the 𝗖𝗨 app to then send money and cryptocurrencies to your friends and family. So as a use case, it's absolutely fantastic, and the fact that it is using encrypted protocol to basically make sure that everything is private and no one's spying in on all of your messages. This has quite a really kind of profound use case. We talk about privacy in general overall. In the space we have like Facebook, for example, selling your data, Google selling your data, and obviously we think about WhatsApp that gets used by so many people for messaging their friends and family, and yet it's owned by Facebook, the same people who are selling your data, right? So something like 𝗖𝗨 is absolutely critical in combating against this kind of scenario. So I do see this thing absolutely being massive in the future, specifically as cryptocurrency becomes more and more mainstream. An application like this becomes more and more vital, right? So I do think 𝗖𝗨 is going to perform very, very well in the future. So the next cycle of 2025 is something that I am very keen to see what happens with 𝗖𝗨. That being said, though, if the marketing really gets off the ground, second half of this year, as we kind of close Q3, go into Q4, and we could start to see this absolutely fly, and it wouldn't take a lot of money to do so. So again, those price expectations, 1,300%, kind of gets us to 7.4 cent from the current position. So doing pretty good there. Now, when we take a look at this weekly chart, we can see the stochastic is rising up. We are up at 71, heading to the overbought area, but we have had a pullback recently, which is again pretty good because it allows us to then correct our daily and our hourly stochastic RSIs and the relative strength index, and gets us ready to take that next step to the upside. Resistance currently is being found at the 2.36 or 236, and this comes in at 0.00642. Okay, and we'll get into that in a moment on the smaller time frames. But overall, once we kind of get past a few of these areas, the 786 comes in at 1.2 cent. That's the main resistance that we're looking for before we can go up and start talking about going into new all-time highs as we go after the first price target of 2.2 cent. And so forth, right? So there's a lot to kind of look forward to here with 𝗖𝗨. So what we'll do is we'll just jump down into our daily, okay? And here we can start to see the corrections. Now, unlike some of these other projects, we're not actually oversold just yet. So there is still room to potentially pull back down a little bit lower. There is a clear upward trend formed here. And ultimately, you can see this, right? And this will hopefully be the catalyst if we can get a bounce from the trend line to take us past the resistance line just up here. Okay, but it's a little bit more of a correction to come in on this daily chart, and that should be expected. This area here was our accumulation zone. You can see that we didn't really wick into here all that often, but when you did, this is the area to be buying. So setting in your buy areas and your buy zones into this area is what we were kind of telling the members, because this is where I was accumulating 𝗖𝗢, and I am still building my position on 𝗖𝗢. I still think that these prices are super cheap for what they are. And again, I do think, though, that the majority of your kind of profits will come from the next cycle, which will give us the entire bear market to build a very, very good position on 𝗖𝗢 here. So really looking good. So far for this year, still super cheap. Happy to buy at this price. But again, I am also aware that there isn't too much more time left of the bull run. And as a result of that, I think I may start to actually leave most of my accumulation now to the bear market, which is where you make your money. Okay, so guys, if you want to stick around for the bear market, then you'll find some fantastic projects as we go through the strategies of accumulation rather than price appreciation. Now, on this daily chart, obviously you can see the Fibonacci area is a little bit clearer. And obviously we're talking about pushing past this 236, going to the 382, okay? But there's a lot of work for 𝗖𝗢 to really come back up to these areas here. The major resistance coming in at 1.1 cent, okay? So there's lots of progress still to be made. But again, I think it's going to move very, very fast once things actually start rolling here, because it's a micro cap coin. Not a lot of money will move the needle, and when it starts going, it will start flying. We saw this with so many other projects like Chili's, for example, which was super cheap at the time, and basically didn't take a lot of money, and it really got moving very, very quickly. So I think something similar can happen here with 𝗖𝗢 under the right kind of marketing conditions. When we actually jump down into our daily, our hourly view from our daily, here you can find the support that we're currently testing. And again, this is an area that we've just broken through, and it'll turn into resistance like we did over here. And we are, of course, oversold now. So in the same way that we are oversold during this pullback here, we basically haven't had a good market. It's not been favorable. We went back into the overbought area right here without doing any price discovery. And this is just because it's a micro cap coin. People are more nervous about this one, and the volumes just were not there. Until you start seeing Bitcoin maybe break the 50K and staying above 50K and turns really bullish, I don't think we're going to really see 𝗖𝗢 do too much more other than sideways trading. I think at the moment, considering where it is, we are pushed back up, and we want to try to hold this 0.00520 area. But if we do not, then we are going to be looking at 0.000483, which would be down here, right? So if we don't hold this area, then coming down to here is where we're likely to go before we get that push to the upside. And one of the things that we're missing right now, when we take a look at the volumes, is basically, it's decreased, right? It's all the way down there. It's very static, not too much happening. When we were pushing the price up, we had good pushes of volume as well. There was some selling volume. You can see the selling coming on in here, right? Basically, people taking profits. Micro cap coins are usually targeted by algorithms as well for trading purposes. So you'll tend to find that these ones are more volatile because there isn't a lot of money in here, and they're easy for bots to kind of trade it, right? So right now, obviously being oversold, we are looking to push up. But again, as a long-term holder in this one, I'm not too concerned. I do think we're going to see significant pushes going further forward. And the use case is very, very good. And I do think this is something that many people in the space are going to need as more and more adoption starts to fly in on the crypto space. So right now on the short term, my expectations are we're going to push up. On the medium term, I do think we're going to pull back a little bit. And obviously on the larger piece, I do think we are going to start spiking back up in a massive way in the next few months for 𝗖𝗢 here. So one to watch out for. If we're ever in doubt, do zoom out, take a look at where we are going on the bigger picture. Don't focus in too much on the smaller timeframes, and really pay attention to how the bull runs usually go towards the end, parabolic, and I take out some of these Fibonacci areas. Guys, hopefully you have found this brief update on 𝗖𝗢 useful and informative. If you have, then do hit the like button. I really appreciate that. If you are new, make sure you subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will not miss another update. Guys, with that said, done and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.